Now, award-winning theatre maker Napo Masheane is bringing the spotlight back to QwaQwa on HerStory International Theatre Festival. Returns from the 7th of August up until the 10th. And the festival includes theatre, music, poetry, dance, storytelling, just that cultural exchange. It's all happening under the theme, Her Story, Her Voice, Her Stage, 1956 to 2026. The gathering also aims to celebrate women's voices whilst positioning QwaQwa as a thriving cultural tourism destination. And for this year's offerings, to tell us a little bit more, Napo Masheane actually joins us virtually. Napo, good morning. Thank you for your time. Welcome back.
Good morning, and thank you for having me again. Super excited. Thank you for having me.
I mean, it's returning home. It's a historic moment for the country as well. We're looking at 70 years of the 1956 Women's March. The festival now marking that as well. To talk to us a little bit more about the meaning of this for you, her story, bridging the gap between the struggles of 1956, our contemporary realities as well, the stories that are being told on stage today.
I mean, for me, it's just a reminder of, firstly, what all those amazing women, mamas, aunties, grandmothers did in 1956 when they went to the Union Building, you know, for against the past laws. And just to measure in terms of also what you said in terms of our contemporary challenges, that as much as we don't have to walk to the Union Building, we are still striving for a lot of change, for a lot of rights for women, for a lot of voices of women to be positioned and be reclaimed. And for me, in terms of the creative industry, this speaks so much volume. It is quite a lot of monumental work to get to where we are, all of us as creatives, especially from the behind the scenes.
Well, Soweto and QwaQwa actually helped to raise you. So I'm looking at what that would have meant for your storytelling process, your language, your cultural exchange as well, particularly under the theme, Her Story, Her Voice, Her Stage. Tell us a little bit more about these critical narratives, how they've shaped you as well.
I mean, you know, having been somebody who in 2022 originally founded and placed the festival in Soweto, 4 years later, it's just so befitting that it should come back home. Like you said, this is a mountainous place, you know, the culture of Basotho, the language, the air tastes differently, the landscape, but also the very lot of undocumented narratives of women in this particular part of South Africa, Basotho women who have been doing pottery, who have been telling stories from, you know, folklores, poets, and we've also been using the festival to honor these great grandmothers and grandmothers to bridge the gap. So for me, this is a must-do. This is something that really roots, and I think also creates a legacy for ourselves, but also make sure that a young Napo Masheane, somewhere in this homeland, in those villages, knows that it's possible and can trace the history. As such, her story gets being reclaimed and repositioned again and again.
Yes, because it's about telling the stories that haven't been told yet, giving agency and a voice to, you know, the ordinary humans who actually make life extraordinary as well. And you're framing it from her perspective, not his perspective. So obviously we're challenging some of the societal constructs as well. So tell us a little bit more about that growth over the years of the event as well, and also the flagship National Women's Day concert that's happening at Joe's Lifestyle on the 9th.
Yes. So one of the most blissful things that actually we have two flagships. One is a dance production choreographed by Zane Miller, and it's also around the title "Her Name Was Never Mine." And then we are at Joe's Lifestyle exactly on the 9th of August, which is an amazing, very intimate lifestyle venue where Tamara Day, Wanda Baloyi, Malay, Madam Bad, MT, Mazette, they're all going to be there performing. So also it's blending the local talent of women who wouldn't necessarily get an opportunity to share the stage with the greats of these women who are in high caliber, who have performed all over the world. world. So it's not just bridging the gap, but it's also giving an opportunity in uplifting the profiles of local DJs, female DJs, and local poets and storytellers to make sure that they rub shoulders with the likes of us. Shoki Mola is doing acting master classes. I've got 5 amazing women from 5 different countries who are doing master classes, from producing to creative writing to script reading. So it has been a blissful one. And I'm glad that it's happening home. I'm glad that it's in QwaQwa, right here in the Maluti Mountains where I am.
Oh, I can just imagine that scenic view you've got there. I'm actually wanting to touch on that point of mentorship and giving back as well. It's a major part of the festival. You've spoken about people coming to impart. There's also the business of the arts as well. And I wonder if you can just speak a little bit more about that skills transfer, the mindsets that you're hoping to shift, but particularly for this younger generation, right? Local artists as well, concentrated in the area.
You know, having been in this industry for now 35 years, I know that I got to where I am because of mentorship. I was blessed to have amazing people that I sat in their classes. Some didn't even know that they were my mentors. But the skills that I got beyond the theatre school, beyond the classroom, beyond the rehearsal room is unmeasurable. And I think for me, one of the most things that I'm passionate about is to make sure that we are not just on stage, with the spotlight on, but that we need to be realistic and share the knowledge behind the scenes with those who are entering the industry. And for me, for somebody, and young people in QwaQwa, we've got about 5 schools, 300 students who have never even seen theatre, who have never been inside a theatre. And for the first time, they're going to see people that they see on TV, coming down to the level of this is the background that all of us come from. But also, like I said, artistic exchange in terms of my my colleagues and friends, sister friends, that's what I call them, from Kenya, Lesotho, Italy, US, and of course, Eswatini. So for me, mentorship is a point of reference for every young person who wants to venture into a particular career. And ours happens to be the creative industry.
Each one teach one, Napo. I wonder, when the curtain now falls on the 10th of August, what do you hope is this lasting legacy of the 2026 HerStory Festival for the community and for our country at large?
I think for me, it's the fact that your voice is very rooted in who you are. Reclaim your stage and reposition yourself as a product, as a sustainable, airborne artist with these amazing gifts. And also, more than anything, know that the world is enough for you, for your creativity, to be immersed into something that actually can put your name among the names of the greatest. As a result, all of us are writing and rewriting her story and rebirthing it and reimagining it.
You know, I'm looking at the Basotho culture. I'm looking at some of the elements as well that would have influenced that's going to be coming through. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of those exchanges? I mean, this was home, right? So for people who don't understand that emotional connection and that understanding, you're obviously taking this also to the international stage with the exchange of the international artists are also coming to give. It's always that exchange. Perhaps you can tell us a little bit more about that synergy as well, right? It's a give and take.
It's a give and take, and this is one of the things that I call artistic bank, where
Yes.
you not only build networks, but also that you maintain your connections. Sometimes we think that being a successful creative or artist depends on the money. Sometimes the money is not the monetary value, it's the currency that one has. Absolutely. And the currency comes through what you deposit in other people's, projects and programs and festivals and shows. And when you invest in them and show up for them, they're going to show up for you. And I think that's why my friends are here. And now, I'm withdrawing from those that I've deposited from. And for me, that's a huge currency and a huge artistic bank that I think I'm privileged and I'm honored and I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, Napo, I'm looking at this personally for you as well. If you trace back to the plight of the women in 1956, 70 years, it's a huge milestone to be celebrating, and one always learns in hindsight as well. So is there any, story that you took from that that you now want to, just impart to the next generation as well? Something that was meaningful, a woman you would have encountered as well. Tell us a little bit more about that personal connection to you. It's always about that emotional healing and transference.
I think for me, it's the fact that, there were 20,000 women who went to union building.
Yes.
And among those women were my both my paternal and maternal grandmother. Now, history books will never mention them. Streets
Yes.
will never be named after them. The monuments will never be built, based on them. But they were domestic workers, and they championed and they made sure that some of the aspects of my life, in terms of the rights, I have them because they themselves, brave themselves. So for me, it's close to home. And initially, that's how I founded HerStory. I wanted to sing a new song for them. I wanted to rewrite and reclaim their names in the kind of work that I do. But I knew that I'm not the only one, that my peers, and those who are the generations that are coming after us, may they sing her story. May they write our stories into our hearts, engrave them into books, place them on stage, behind the microphone, and may they amplify the fact that women in this world also have contributed immensely in the revolution and emancipation of our freedom as human beings. So for me, that hits home. This is what I'm doing for my great grandmother. This is what I'm doing for my grandmothers, for what they did. And this is also my way of saying thank you for the gifts of creativity that you have given me as my airborne talents. And as such, I will sing that new song. I will hold it at its sharpness, hard as it is, and I will make sure that your story is being told among other stories.
Well, you're honoring them in the most significant way. Thank you, Napo. It's always the unsung heroes. It's always those people who do things, through the applause of silence. And this is their moment to also be recognized as you take on that baton and then hand it over to the next generation. Thank you for your time. We're wishing you all the best of luck. You and the team, Napo Masheane, they're bringing us HerStory International Theatre Festival. It's going back home to QwaQwa this Women's Day weekend. As you heard it, there's that massive cultural exchange that's also taking place. Again, thank you to Napo for joining us at this hour.